Alright, hello there. Welcome to another Starfield video. This is going to be a video on whether or not I think the StarSim mining conglomerate, I said it right this time, is worth the credits. So, if you watch my Trackers Alliance The Vulture, you'll know that I was very negative. It wasn't unfairly negative, but my general kind of view was that it's not worth it unless you kind of don't really... money isn't really an issue to you. This one is a little bit different because unlike the Trackers Alliance Vulture, this is made by like a third-party modder, which I'm going to pull up it now real quick. So this is made by Vernus, and the whole premise behind this mod is it basically expands upon the mining aspect of the game, more so the space mining. So as you can see, there's a little kind of a blurb. I'll let you read it, just because it's a bit wordy. But the main features here is space mining reimagined, new mission board type missions, including mine asteroids, protect mining operations, protect HQ, and protect space station. 2 new stations, Argos Space HQ and Argos Mining Station. HQ is a location for easily coordinating their affairs. Space and acts as a general drop-off point, whereas the mining station is built into a giant asteroid. Stations have a bulletin board of various announcements and messages providing flavor text related to the universe. Players can receive mail. And then stations can be managed in a straightforward minigame to ensure the local productivity. And then obviously they've got features that they're planning, but they aren't in the game yet. So basically like a mini roadmap. So they're going to be expanding the mining simulation to include freighters, scanning asteroids to determine their yield with a new mission board job. The ability to scan and mine gas-based hazards and nebulas in space. This will also add new missions. Following the basic quests already added, we'll be adding a completely voiced quest around Argos as they expand their operations, interact with their companies, looking to collaborate or sabotage. Orbital support station will replace the current HQ, being a massive station per each hub orbit, like Cheyenne, Jameson, Volai. These will be broken into admin, management station, business center, supporting various headquarters of the companies. Passenger center, allow passengers to take shuttles to and from the planets, and taxi services, and trade center, a small mall of vendors. Other mining companies and factions are involved in new missions, including sabotage and data theft. Deep space station interiors and exteriors, interiors for asteroids linked to the station. The ability to regenerate, project a 3D map over digital tables. New mining equipment for player ships, new mining ships built by Deimos, expanded space management, expanded trade interface. Each mining company has an M-class mothership. So with that being said, let's get on to kind of my opinion of it. So while I kind of talk in the background, we're just going to be going through these kind of minings. So this is going to cost you 500 credits, which equates to around €5 or $5. It'll probably be about maybe like £4. And unlike the Vulture pack, you can buy exactly 500, which is really nice. So what it tends to do is, as the title or as the kind of the information is, it adds a number of these on the map. You can see them, these mining, because these were already in the game, these like asteroid fields, but it makes them a permanent area. And you can see asteroid and you see rich asteroid. And you can come here and you can basically, actually let me show you real quick. So they actually add new settings in the gameplay options down at the bottom, where you can set the drop rate of the asteroids, and then you can set it that if the resources are dropped into your ship or not. So I'm going to disable that. You can see. So you basically can fly around these asteroid fields, shoot them up. Once they break, you can then loot them, and you see how they have a load of different minerals, which is really, really cool. Now the minerals seem to just be random. There's no like kind of set minerals like in like certain games like Elite Dangerous. Certain, minerals or certain asteroids would have specific minerals. So this feature on its own is quite cool. The fact that you can basically farm minerals or materials from asteroids, and there's different sizes of asteroids. That big asteroid there is also breakable, but I tried and it took a long time. So it's not something I would recommend unless you want to waste a bit of time. Currently in the game, you just break the asteroids by shooting them, and once you break them, you can steal them. See, there's cobalt in that one. This one has, well, there's some good stuff, which a lot of like really nice materials. Now there's a couple of missions which you can get from the bounty or from the space stations, and they're pretty fun. There's one mission in particular where you have to defend, well, there's two missions. You have to defend stations and defend the miners. And those missions spawn like anywhere from 3 to like 12 enemies. So you can have like a proper like space battle, which is really, really fun. Now, interestingly, the mining ships in general, you can see them here. I believe they're based on a Hope Tech ship. I know that much. But they're pretty kitted as is. They can definitely rain havoc on the enemies. So the two space stations they added, it took me a bit of time to figure out that you can't actually get into them. So all you can do is when you dock in them, as soon as you dock, it brings up like a terminal. And the terminal basically is like, oh, you can read your mail, you can read bulletins, which is just kind of lore blurbs. And then you can do the bounty missions, and then you can obviously there's an option to leave the terminal, which disconnects from this ship. I would have liked to have known like beforehand that you can't actually board the space stations, just for the simple reason that I spent way too long trying to figure out. I have a playthrough of just going through some of the various missions and stuff. If you want to check that out, should be uploaded around the same time. But for the most part, yeah, that's kind of a feature. That is a feature they promised. Now, they have promised a lot of things, like they said, which I'm interested in seeing. Now, the only thing is here, and I suppose you take this with a grain of salt, because I'm not usually pessimistic, but the pessimist in me, after seeing kind of some of the other stuff with the Vulture, obviously this is not Bethesda, you've given them your money, the creator your money, and they're under no obligation to actually follow up with these updates. Now, there's nothing saying they won't, because obviously, like, these modders want to do well, and they want to show you, you know, like, as is now, like, what they have in the game is definitely, it's worth it, in my opinion. I'm kind of jumping here early and saying it is definitely worth it, in my opinion. Now, if they add more, I'm not sure if the price will increase. I feel like it won't increase because they probably aren't allowed to modify the price. But as it stands, if you're like, you've got your 1,000 credits and you're looking for a kind of a, looking to spend it, this isn't a bad one to buy. Now, who would I recommend this to? Well, there's a couple of people. If you're the sort of person who likes the roleplay element and you would like another kind of avenue of roleplay, like, let's say, for instance, you like the roleplay as a miner. As you can see here, Space Jackal has just jumped in, and they're getting absolutely dogged on by the miners, which is kind of hilarious. If you're looking to roleplay and you want to roleplay as a miner, definitely worth it. If you're looking for another gameplay loop, I know there's a few of you guys from the Discord that you kind of would probably really enjoy this gameplay loop of just the idea of just being able to get more resources, because obviously you can shoot asteroids in the base game, but they don't. Unknown location. What? Okay, sorry, I'm gonna have to go there just for the memes while talking. Yeah, so I wouldn't recommend getting this if you're expecting a kind of a completely new kind of quest / mission. What is that? Oh, that's something else. Like, I'll just really quickly go and show you there is currently very little in the lines of quests. You basically are given a quest to go to the station, and when you go to the station, it's just basically a generic bounty board with a couple of missions. So if you're looking for more than bounty board hopping, I probably wouldn't recommend it. It's definitely good value for money, though, in general, because of the fact that it adds a completely new gameplay loop, which I really like. Obviously, those new improvements that come along would be amazing, but again, we'll have to kind of see. So I'm going to really quickly show you this. Now, to my knowledge, there's nothing really new in the terms of items or ships or anything. I was kind of hoping we could dock in these and we could like buy mining vessels which sadly we can't. I'll show you now. So this is that menu. You've got your bulletin board, which just shows you a load of various things. And then we've got your mission board, which shows you the missions. Oh, and then we've got the, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. But as you can see, you do that, and it just kicks you off. So we're going to go back in because we player mount. Now there is, I will say, fair warning, I did do a playthrough of this, and supposedly there is a way, like, now I could be misinterpreting how this is, but apparently you get to a certain point in reputation-wise where you get to manage your own space station and kind of control it, and you have a little mini game. Now I've did a couple of the missions. I've spent about an hour and a half doing missions, and I haven't gotten anything like that. So I'm not really sure if I'm maybe like looking at the wording a little bit. I will say, no disrespect to the mod creator, but the description is a bit, there's certain things it does miss out in. Like, I feel like they should have been more open with the fact that when you say that there's new space stations, that is accurate, but you can't board them like normal space stations. So all they are is really glorified floating computer terminals, you know? And like that alone, like I said, that took me a little bit of time to kind of figure out what was going on. So I'm not sure if like this, if like, again, if I'm misinterpreting this or not. But either way, like regardless of that, for 500 credits you get loads of new, which I'll show you, get loads of new mining areas. You got asteroids there, we'll go to Sol. You've got asteroids there and asteroids there, so it basically, there's a lot of asteroids kind of everywhere, which is really cool. You don't see these as much in game. You can come across asteroid fields, but they're kind of random. They're like a kind of a POI almost. But yeah, bottom line is it's definitely worth it. Like I said, unless, the only reason I would not recommend getting it, if you're not really interested in mining or the kind of the bounty board hopping, and you're like, if you are looking for more of a voiced quest, I would hold off for the moment, as it is a bit, you know, it's still early game yet. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Have you guys played it? After kind of watching this review, are you more interested in playing it if you haven't decided? And I also have a little playthrough on the channel, just kind of going through the various missions and stuff. So yeah, as always guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you like this sort of content, and let me know what you want me to cover next in the paid mods.